testing. I wanted to start with a little introduction about myself. I'm not sure how often I will post. My goal is at least once a month, but possibly more. Some of my hobbies are budgeting, cooking, photography. Specifically, one goal is birth photography. That's like a dream of mine, but I have not even started on that yet. Traveling. I love traveling. Seriously. And if you're interested, cool. I'm making a vision board, and so I was thinking about doing a video for that. So I'm currently going to school for my associate's degree in psychology, but long-term goal is neuroscience. I want to get at least a bachelor in like the science of psychology, and then I want to hopefully get like a master's, more narrowing down. I get really interested in like brain chemistry and the biology of the brain. This introduction video is much trickier than I thought it was going to be. My bio, riding the waves. Basically, the meaning behind it is that sometimes in life, when everything just kind of clicks for a few seconds, I just like to ride that wave. I think the first time I really thought about that like whole idea was a couple months ago when I was on a flight back from Guatemala. I was sitting with my fuzzy pink blanket and watching the Kardashians while sipping on a Coke. And I was like, this is great. I'm having a blast. And I just rode that wave until it ended, which probably was only a few minutes because I think my Wi-Fi disconnected on the airplane or something, so I had to stop. But the idea of like, oh, everything's working together so well for me right now, and I just look at maybe 3 things. Like, I'm really comfortable, I really like, you know, what I'm watching, I like what I'm drinking. It was like 3 sensory things pretty much. And when it goes click, 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 it's like, whee, down a wave. And so I'm really present in the moment, really aware of what's happening around me, and just feel inside. Yeah. So that's what riding the waves mean, riding the waves of life. Because sometimes they crash, but I just like water, I guess. Maybe it's just an analogy because I just really like being in the water. Waves. I love listening to waves. It's like my lifelong dream to live by waves and hear them like as I fall asleep. My main focus right now is doing like a vision board for 2023. I was thinking about separating out all the months and doing one focus for each month. So like January is probably going to be physical fitness, working on getting a gym membership, really focusing that as a priority. And then February, something else, and so on and so forth. I was thinking about like a friends month where I invite someone over every week for dinner, or, you know, have different priorities for each month. Because I be posting traveling tips on here too. That's like one of my fun ideas, because sometimes when I'm traveling, I just think like, wow, I bet there's other people that don't know this. Like when I was filling out my paperwork when you're flying to another country and you're like, what does this mean? I live a pretty, or I aspire to live a pretty non-toxic, eco-friendly like lifestyle. So when I find products and stuff, I could share that with you if that's exciting. If there's anything you'd like to know, you can always ask a question. I was just gonna do like a random video about surviving winter because so much snow. I don't know how to survive, but I do think I've come up with about roughly 10 tips and tricks. A few jobs that I've worked. My first job was Subway. My second job was Target. My third job was well, I worked at Target and I worked at a greenhouse at the same time. And then I stopped working at both those. I went and I worked on a cruise ship. And then after that, I worked at a roller skating rink. I was a DJ and I worked in the office to the cruise ship. Then I worked at Tropical Smoothie. And I also worked at the airport in Colorado Springs. And then now I work at a daycare. So those are all my jobs. Focus. Sometimes when I make a New Year's resolution, I tend to want to do 12 different habits or hobbies in January and then realize that that's just not attainable, and then I kind of give up. And so I also was going to look at my journal from last year when I started doing my New Year's resolution from there and see what I've accomplished and then what I want to, you know, organize for 2023 to hopefully accomplish more this year. But I did accomplish quite a bit, I will add, in 2022. I moved from Colorado to Michigan, got a new job, and started school. So those are all good accomplishments. Those are just a few things about me and what's to come, hopefully. I stick with it. I've made like 2 other videos in the past and never posted them. So today, so I just walked probably about 3 miles. I'm on like existential crisis number 3 so far with trying to film this, because I've basically been debating in my head if this is even worth it, if I'm either going to edit this and post it, if I do, if anyone would ever even care. If this is ever posted, that's a whole accomplishment in itself, because that was my... So hopefully this one's really just short. I can figure out how to edit a few things. If you have any tips on editing, I would love that, because I'm not really sure what I'm doing. But, yeah, we did it.